You can't be a pro without a process. And when it comes to your Google ad campaigns, you can't afford to just take the spaghetti approach and throw things against the wall and see what happens, because your money is on the line or your client's money is on the line. In this video, I want to talk about my 7-step Google Ads launch process to give you the best likelihood to keep more money in your pocket and to get more leads and ultimately clients in your business. Let's get right into it. Hey guys, Silvio Perez here from AdConversion, helping you solve your lead generation problems and grow your business with digital advertising. If you're new here, make sure to click on that subscribe button, and all the links and resources that I mentioned in this video you can find in the description box down below. In just 2019, I managed well over $1 million in Google advertising spend, and every single campaign that I launched for clients was based off this 7-step process that I'm going to outline in this video. Now, am I claiming this process to be the beyond end all? Absolutely not. If you know anything about me, you know I don't believe in big claims like that. This is just, again, from my personal experience, just like everything else on this channel, is just sharing what's worked for me as somebody out there on the front lines, doing this every single day, going in the Google Ads interface, trying to get my clients more leads for less cost. Let's jump right into it. Step number 1 in launching successful Google Ad campaigns is deciding on your goals. If you're saying things like, I just want more leads and more sales, it's not gonna work for you, because you wanna know what the reality is? The reality is the #1 killer of successful Google ad campaigns is poor expectations. Most of the times we think our campaigns aren't working, when in fact they are. It's just we haven't set the proper goals to be able to go into step number 2, which is to set the proper budget. When it comes to your goals for your Google ad campaigns, try to get very specific. Try to follow the format. I want to achieve outcome by time frame. So I want to achieve 30 leads in 1 month. I want to achieve X by Y. Don't just say things like more leads and more sales, because it's going to make it impossible for you to create a real plan of attack to really be able to understand the targets you have to hit and whether or not these campaigns are actually successful or not. Because how do you know if you won the game if you don't even know the game you're playing? Step number 2 is to calculate your budget. Now, this builds off step 1. Every one of these steps build off each other, so that's why you want to make sure you do them in this order. Now that you have your goal, you got very specific. You said, I want to acquire, let's say, 30 leads in 1 month, so you know you need 1 lead per day, for example. Now that you have that goal in mind, now it's time for you to take that goal and to calculate the budget you need to realistically hit that goal that you set in step 1. I actually created a video on this, on how to calculate your daily ad budget, and you can go ahead and click on this video and it'll show you everything. I go over 3 different methods in terms of calculating your goal. The method that I recommend that you follow that I mentioned in that video is method number 3, which is the goal calculation method, and it literally builds off step 1. So now that you have your goal, you can calculate your budget. So go ahead and click on that video and watch that. Now that you have your goal and you have your starting budget, step number 3 is to design your campaign structure. Now, when it comes to designing your campaign structure, there's really 3 questions you have to answer. Number 1 is, who are you trying to reach? What is the age, demographics, the income of the person that you're trying to reach? Number 2 is, what locations are they in? Are they local? Are they national? Are they international? What specific states, zip codes, cities, etc.? Where do you want your ads to show? And then number 3 is, what service do you want to promote to these people? So you get very clear on who you're trying to reach, what locations you're trying to show your ads in, and last but not least, the service that you want to promote to these people. I like to personally break my campaigns out by service, location, and device, and the reason why is because that way I can set how much budget I want to give towards a specific service, specific location, and a specific device. And by breaking it out this way, I can really get granular with my campaigns and put the best spend towards the best performing devices, locations, and services. Now that you have your goal, you have your starting budget, and you designed your campaign structure based on who you're trying to reach, the location you're trying to reach them in, and the service you like to promote, now it's time to move on to step 4, which is to map out your ad group structure. Now, it's really important to note, when it comes to Google Ads, relevance is the name of the game, and how you win is with organization. So it's all about relevance. Google wants to show relevant ads to relevant searches. They want, when someone goes to Google and search Nike shoes, they see an ad of Nike shoes and it takes them to a page of Nike shoes. The better job you do in terms of organization in your Google Ads account and grouping your ad groups with relevant keywords and relevant ads, That's going to allow you to have a higher quality score, which is going to allow you to pay less per click and to rank higher in the Google Ads page. So now when it comes to mapping out your ad groups, go ahead and take that keyword of the service that you'd like to promote and put it into the Google Ads keyword planner and get a whole bunch of different ideas in terms of ad groups you can create based on that service. So let's say you're a dentist in Miami, and with this campaign you just want to promote your general dentistry practice and you just want to get people who are interested in your general dental services. So the search and the service that you want to show up for is Miami dentist. So you're going to go to the Google Ads keyword planner and you're going to put in there Miami dentist because that's what you want to promote with this campaign. Now when you put that in there, the Google Ads keyword planner is going to give you a whole bunch of different ideas and suggestions of ways people are searching for a Miami dentist in all these different words and formats, because people look for the same thing in different ways. So now what you want to do is you want to look through that list and you want to pull out the different ways that people search for your business and create them into ad groups. So for example, maybe one ad group is going to be Miami dentist. The second ad group is going to be Miami orthodontist. And then the third ad group will be Tooth Doctor Miami, or just Tooth Doctor, for example. Those three ad groups are all for the same service. It's people looking for a dentist. It's just them saying it in different ways. And the reason why we want to break them out into their own ad groups is because the keywords are too different from each other, that if we put them all in one ad group, our ad would get a low ad relevance because the keyword in the ad copy wouldn't be relevant to the keywords in our ad group. So just by breaking those different ones out, if they have a different root word, that's pretty good chance that you want to break it out into its own ad group. And by doing that, you're going to maintain maximum ad relevance and again, have good organization in your account for that service. Now that you have your ad groups mapped out, it's time to fill those ad groups with keywords, which is step number 5 to map out your keywords. Now remember this, positive keywords give you visibility. Those are the things you want to show up for, but negative keywords will give you focus, because the negative keywords are going to block all the irrelevant impressions and all the irrelevant searches that you just don't want to waste your money on. Now, when it comes to mapping out your keywords, there's really 3 things you want to focus on. Number 1, you want to make sure that you're putting relevant keywords into these ad groups that you just created. Number 2, you want to make sure you're also putting negative keywords. Negative keywords are absolutely critical. You can use something called a negative keyword list and just apply it at the campaign level, but you want to make sure you're using your positive keywords, your negative keywords, and lastly, when it comes to mapping out your keywords, you want to be using match types. Match types allow you to regulate how Google goes about showing your ads to different searches. They're almost like the guardrails that protect your keywords and ultimately your budget. So you want to make sure when it comes to mapping out your keywords, you're putting positive keywords, the ones you want to bid on in the relevant ad groups that you mapped out. Try to also limit it no more than 10 per ad group, and also don't overthink this process. Once you launch your campaign, you'll get feedback. A lot of these keywords you put in there, you think they're going to get a lot of visibility, they get no visibility. So it's an iterative process. As you move on with your campaign, you can add more keywords, you can take keywords out. So don't allow that to stop you, just get started. But put relevant keywords in your ad group. Number 2, make sure you use negative keywords, ideally more negative keywords than positive keywords. Seriously, if you like money, you like negative keywords because it protects you. And then 3rd, always use match types. Whatever the match type is for you, make sure you use it so that way you can put those guardrails on your keywords and Google doesn't go freaking crazy showing your ad to anyone. Step number 6 is to create your ads and extensions. When creating your Google Ads copy, you only have 30 characters for the headline and 90 characters for the description, so you don't have a lot of room to work with. But ideally, when you're writing your Google Ads copy, you really want to focus on 3 core things. Number 1 is you want to answer objections. Number 2 is you want to communicate benefits. And number 3, you want to provide a call to action. When you're writing your ad copy, you really want to make sure that it's benefit driven, that you're answering objections. So for example, if fast shipping is something that people usually are on the fence about, meaning they want their product fast, and it's a common objection in the sense of, if you can't get your product delivered to me quick enough, I'm not going to buy from you. If you can mention in your ad copy that you have 24/7 shipping, for example, another one for a local service-based business is 24/7 emergencies, 24/7 services. If you're a plumber, 24/7 same-day availability is huge. So answering objections is critical in your ad copy, in your ad extensions. Communicating benefits. Never talk about yourself unless you can relate it back to the searcher. And number 3 is always provide a call to action. You want to Tell the visitor what they have to do next. Tell them the next step. Prime them for your landing page where you're going to make them follow up on that call to action that you put in your ad. And then as well as when you write your ads, you always want to make sure you're using the keywords from your ad group in your ad copy. That way you can maintain that high ad relevance. And now when it comes to ad extensions, really you just got to use as many as possible. And if you're not familiar, ad extensions make your ads larger. It extends your ad, as the name implies. And by adding more information with ad extensions, you're gonna make your ads bigger. You're gonna provide more information to the searcher. Your ads are gonna get clicked on more often. Your click-through rate's gonna go higher. Your quality score is gonna go higher. Only good things will come from it. So it's better to over-deliver than under-deliver. So by just giving people more information, you can't go wrong versus just less information. So empower your searchers with the most information possible and create your ads and create your extensions. Step number 7 in launching successful Google ad campaigns is to set up conversion tracking and launch. Let me tell you something. You could have the greatest Google Ads expert of all time managing your campaigns. You could have the Yoda of Google Ads managing your campaigns. But I'm telling you, the force is not strong enough to deal with an account that does not have conversion tracking. If you don't have conversion tracking, it doesn't matter how good the person managing your account is. They could be the best of all time. They won't be able to do anything until you set up conversion tracking. Without conversion tracking, you're not going to know what's working and you're not going to know what's not working. So you have to set it up. I know it's techie, I know it can be overwhelming, but it is so important that honestly, without this one step, you might as well not do anything else. Because without conversion tracking, how are you going to put more money towards what works and less money towards what doesn't? Remember, if you like money, you like conversion tracking. If you don't have to do it yourself, you can go on a YouTube video, you can see tutorials. If you do want to do it yourself, you can hire someone to do it for you, but it's got to get done. Make sure you're tracking your core objectives with your campaign. So in this case, you're tracking the leads that call you and you're tracking the leads that fill out your form submissions on your page if you're accepting form submissions. To recap really quickly, step number 1, decide on your goals. Step number 2, calculate your starting budget. Step number 3, design your campaign structure. Step number 4, map out your ad groups. Step number 5, find your positive keywords, negative keywords, and match types. Step number 6, create your ads and extensions. And step number 7, set up conversion tracking and launch. I hope you got tremendous value from this video. If you can give this video a thumbs up, that'll help me out a ton. And if you want to learn more about this 7-step process on how to launch successful Google ad campaigns, as you can imagine, there is a lot of content in just this one video. I actually created an in-depth training on this process, and you can check that out at adconversion.io/launch training. And on this training, it's over 30 minutes long. I go into detail on each one of these steps. And not only do I talk about my 7-step launch process for launching successful Google ad campaigns, I also talk about, does Google Ads work? Why should you consider Google Ads? Is Google Ads right for you? Because there is a criteria your business needs to meet. And then last but not least, I talk about the traps to avoid when launching your campaigns that people typically fall into that cause them to spend money that they don't want to spend and not find that success they're looking for. So again, you can find that at adconversion.io/launch training. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.